Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Cryptic Gaming. Hope you've been having a wonderful day. So we're going to be playing some Skull and Bones tonight. Mainly what I'm going to be doing is focusing on my Helm, building that up, continuing to get that thing ready. When it comes into Season 2 of Year 2, which will technically be Season 7 of the entirety of the game, I believe we're going to end up needing that. So, like I said, no really need for concern here in Season 1 of this year, but I do think it's important that you get it, and I'm going to show you some of the reasons why. Okay, so I want to make sure that we do have our live stream going. If y'all would just bear with me for 1 second. Looks like we are streaming here. So we're going to call that good. And if you hop in and you have something you'd like to say or some questions you'd like to ask, just round around chat. Let me know, man, because I'm monitoring the chat, and I love to talk with the guys who come in and view the videos. Now, so what I'm going to be doing here, first thing is I like to pop in, I like to look and see what's actually happening in the map around the Helm. As you can see, a lot of the stuff that I've got is, we got a lot of 4s, a couple 2s and 3s over here, but most of it's up to 4s. It looks like we got a 2 over here and a 3 over there. Wait for those to pop up, but most everything's a 4 over here. Still getting these up to 4s, a lot of 2s still. We're getting there. But like I said, I was focusing on a few other things. Upgrading ships. Now it's time to come back to it. We do have all of the map conquered, all of it captured, I should say, and I need to start assigning a few ships to go pick up some of the pieces of 8. Now, if you notice over here, I do have my Mega Fort Houston. It is creating ascension modules. I average about 3 of those a day if I don't do any boosting. That is a level 5. Went ahead and took that to a level 5, and it's worth it just for the static build of the Ascension modules. And then I average around, I will say between 10 and 12, depending if I boost or not over here. And I do have a ship, the Prometheus. It's just a brig, is all that is. I've got it scheduled picking those up, so it's continually bringing the upgrade parts in as well. Like I say, I average around 12 if I do boosting. So every 15 minutes I'll come up and I'll boost those with pieces of 8. Now, when you go to actually fund those, when you fund your territories, you'll notice it does silver and it does pieces of 8 if you're doing a territory that requires 8s. And if you're doing ascension modules or upgrade parts or any other type of thing other than trying to collect 8s, it's going to cost you pieces of 8. Now, to boost, as you can see, we don't have our boost over here yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing boosted. But first, I want to make sure I can grab my contracts, because I like to try and keep my factories running. When I say my factories, I'm talking about my laboratories. I know that they're technically called manufactories over on the other map too, but I like to keep this stuff running as well, and trying to keep those black lotus and black snuff, silver snuff, and things like that going. Blue lotus opium and all that. You know, you got to keep those coming in. And easiest, not quite a lot of that to do, but we're going to go ahead and kick it on. Now, I like to keep an aggro on me with the Helm, which means I typically will come up and run a liaisons here, but I also like to run these fort plunders as well. So we're going to go ahead and grab these forts. So it looks like we've got a fort over here with Haramu or Haramu. So there's 2 there, so that's going to be great. We're going to get a 2-for-1 on that one. I love it when we get that. Fort de Lis, and it looks like we will get a Grand Fort. So that's pretty sweet. Now, anytime I get Mega Fort Houston, I make sure that I run that in Tier 2, because you do go through those, can't even talk today. You get those print ships that drop the pieces of 8, but it also drops those ascended weapons as well. So definitely worth doing on that. Now, there was a comment someone had asked on a video I'd posted up about why it seems like we're not getting as many of those ascended weapons dropped when you're running those forts. Well, the fort itself said it would call in when you're fighting Mega Fort Houston, and I've noticed that myself. Now, you still do get some drops, but yeah, even the Prince ships, they're not dropping as many ascended weapons. Now, definitely not as many double ascended weapons as we used to get. Just get a ton of those Kalinko flames and things like that. Now, you can continue to run your honorless missions if you wanted to, assuming that that's still going into game. We'll have to check that. Need to double check that. I think that's still running. That event's still running. Okay, it's not going to let me pick up any more contracts. Okay, let's go ahead and swing over here. Yeah, so the honors list is still running. You can get those ascended weapons, but again, you got to be in tier 2 to get those ascended weapons fighting that. And Missouri, you could just come up, blow all those ships up using the sand bucket and take it out. Now, you could drop that Missouri and Mazurja, however you want to pronounce it. You could drop that thing in 5 or 6 minutes. Typically, now if you get a lot of people that come and jump in with the battle now, it's going to give you a little bit better drop rates. You might end up getting some of those double ascended weapons in the boxes. Not a guarantee of it, but you could. Double ascended divine winds we've seen from DNC and I've seen some single ascensions on the Klein Courtois over here, and other than that, I've not really noticed a whole lot of ascended weapons coming from the actual Missouri itself. But the ships that drop stuff around that it travels with, you sink those. You want to get a shot on them at least. And when they get sunk, you're going to be able to pick up what they drop. And typically, there's going to be some weapons on that as well. So let's go ahead and set sail. Typically, when I come in this area here, anytime I do this anymore, you can almost guarantee you're going to run into an ambush. And I think I've actually got my ship set up for forts, so Yep, I do. So I didn't end up putting my, looks like this guy's also doing the same thing I'm going to do. Hope it doesn't mess him up because I'm going to be shooting the ship. Yes, and there is the ambush. That's what I was getting ready to say. Typically, we end up running into an ambush. Now, I am unaffected by this as long as it doesn't come chasing me down. I'm not going to even mess with it because, like I say, I definitely want to get on track with my other stuff. I'm going to go ahead and hit him. You just can't help but hit it. Now the trick here is I want to get at least a shot on some of these ships over here. That way if old boy sinks them over here, we're going to be okay to go. Now, when it comes to the ambush, it's up to you if you run them. I typically do. The reason I typically run them is because you usually will get a little bit of a, something from it. Not really anything to write home about. But like I say, I just want to get in and do my forts tonight. Hey, how's it going there, Shrewd Gaming? Welcome to the stream, man. But I've definitely been enjoying the ability to actually live stream this game over onto the YouTube station. Now, I know that the PlayStation I can do that on, but I wanted to get something a little more official set up, and also I'm kind of looking at wanting to be able to invite other gamers and things like that in where we could do like live streams together and stuff. And I'm still learning the OBS system at the moment, but that is coming in the future, so definitely looking forward to that. Going to be adding to our contents. It's going to be pretty awesome. At least I'm excited about it now, even if no one else is. But yeah, it's been a learning experience, and I have always enjoyed dealing with technology. Never been too much on messing with computers and stuff, and definitely hadn't really done much with streaming. I was mostly like programming and things like that in industrial settings. But okay, now that should have that event out of the way with the ambush. So how have you been doing tonight, Shrewd? All right, let's see what we're looking at here on our... Looks like we've got a fort here we can bring in. Bring them 8s in there. Now, there's always a lot of stuff when you have your pieces of 8. Hey, I appreciate it there, man. I try to bring people the gaming content I would like to get, which is like straight to the point a lot of times. But it is also nice to be able to come in and actually shoot the breeze with everybody. That's kind of one of the fun things about the Discord with the Said you lurk? Yeah, I tend to do that in chat sometimes. But yeah, with the Discord group, I love getting on and talking with a lot of the guys that come over to Banished Souls. I mean, most of them, there's a few that's come from some other streamers. We're just a big conglomerate of streamers over there, but a a lot of guys come over from watching this channel, so it's pretty cool to get to know everybody and see what kind of builds everyone's using. Everyone's got their own way of doing things in this game, and I tell you, I learned just as much from them as hopefully y'all do from some of my videos. So always something fun going on. Now let's go ahead and, you know what, I am going to leave that, and we're going to collect that when we actually hit that fort there. Okay, transfer that to the warehouse. Now, I could go in and pick up that other contract, but like I say, right now, mostly what I'm trying to do is I was trying to get an aggro so that I will be attracting those Helm ships as I'm running the forts here. Now, what I've got set up here is I have a healer, a Little Grace 3 that's set up to heal as my auxiliary weapon. The main reason for that is most of the ships are going to drop pretty easy. The walls are going to drop pretty easy. What I want to have is just that extra heal effect, so I'm not burning through repair kits. Typically, you're not going to need it too much unless you're running Houston, but it does happen sometimes. You know, there was one stream in here, one of the guys was watching goes, "Oh, got cocky, didn't you?" End up getting sunk. But I was actually having some connection issues that night. It like was half kicking me out of the game, then ended up kicking me straight out, and it took me a minute to get back in. I think, as far as I know, they've got that fixed. That actually, I believe that was last night. Then it got to where I kept getting there was no servers available, I think was the message it kept saying. Had me scratching my head because I'd done decided I was going to come in, do some PvP, and really grind some more on that. We're about, I don't know, probably about a third way through the pass or something. I haven't been hitting it real hard. Mainly because when I seen that we're not going to be able to bring the ultimates into this mode, I mean, it's still fun to run with the crew, and I got some guys who are running over there. I like to run Swerve. We got a couple other dudes. We got Sooners, and then Desert Rat, and a lot of other guys. You know, we run with, and then of course everyone's kind of got their teams that they're building up over there in the Discord, which is pretty awesome. So if you're not part of Banished Souls Discord, I'm gonna make sure I plug in a link for that here. In fact, I could probably do that real quick. Let me bring that up on my little handheld device here. I am learning all this stuff as I go, so there's that. We'll go stop right here. Let's see, I gotta bring up YouTube on this thing. There it is. Okay, let's go ahead and post the Discord link up there for everybody. If you're looking for a cool group of guys to play with, yeah, I think there might be a few gals in there too. Most of them are wives of some of the guys that are there. We're mostly Gen X, but we do have millennials in there, and even a few groups, you know, folks that are Gen Z and stuff in there as well. So we don't discriminate against gamers. We like to get everybody we can, but we are a more mature group of folks. Now, what I mean by mature is we have a very mature sense of humor, which most people in, I don't know what generation this would be nowadays, they might find us kind of crude. Or they might find us pretty cool. So I don't know. It just depends. So I'm going to pick these 8s up on the way back in as well. I should have picked them up beforehand. I wasn't thinking. That's my bad. So what I'm trying to do is I want to watch for, once I get this done, I'm going to probably try and jump in and catch this event there so I can bump it up. I'm catching fire from somebody. Now, as you can see, it's not doing much damage. That's mainly because of the way my ship is built. But so those are Helm rogues here. Alright, so I need to... I don't see any towers, so I ain't gotta worry about no towers, I don't think. And if the volume's off and you can't hear me, let me know, guys. I was trying to make sure everything's set up. I turn that music way down because I don't really even listen to the music when I'm playing. And I definitely turn a lot of the bark down on the crew. But I hope y'all have enjoyed the PvP aspect they dropped out, the new Death Tides. I find it kind of interesting. It's it's not something I play a lot, but it is something I like to add into my routine. It kind of switches the game up a little bit, gives us something new to add in there, you know. And I hope to see it continue to polish and want to see it succeed. Definitely want to see that succeed because any new aspect they bring to the game, if they can get it where it's popular, it just really increases the amount of players we can get in here. I've been noticing more and more folks coming back over here to Tier 1, though. And I think it's because the payouts, while, yeah, you get some ascended weapons, you only have so much stuff you ascend. And then you're kind of like, yeah, I'm wasting cannonballs over here. At least that's my mentality on it. So I typically run my forts over here in Tier 1 just because it runs it a lot quicker. I'm not stuck in a long, strung-out situation. Let's see what we got here. So this is still about 43 seconds. We might actually miss it because I don't think we're far enough in the tiers here. Overshot. I've been using long guns too much in PvP. Definitely gotten better with them. Okay, so we've got another wall here we got to take out. Yeah, so if you're playing the game and you get tired of hearing your crew screaming, says any good place to do trades? I need a Plague Bringer's ward, and LePest is hiding and no one responds on World Chat. Plague Bringer's ward. Is that an armor? I'm unfamiliar with the terms of some of the stuff. That's season 1 for a lot of us guys that's been playing since the game came out. And we have 2 different types of armor that they run, which is Wailing Ward and the Wrathful Ward. One of them helps to protect against gas. The other one actually causes damage to ships when you ram them. Or you talk about the furnitures that causes the poison weapons to reload quicker. Like I said, I'm not real familiar with the I don't use a lot of poison stuff. But if you're looking for some armors, I think I've actually got a few I can look and see here as soon as I get done with this mission here. And if you're on, you can look me up in game and we can get you a trade, man. I don't usually charge anything, especially the guys that actually watch our feeds and stuff. You can only equip one piece of armor at a time, you know. Oh, the furniture, the toxic damage boost. I'll have to look and see if I've got a spare. Must be looking at doing some PvP. I can check it out. I've got a build with some poison on it, but I have to look and see if I've got the plague a spare ward or not. Oh, overshot. There we go. Alright, that ought to do those contracts. Plague Bringer's Ward. Yeah, I'll check this real quick. Save me a trip. The poison explosive grew to build. Yeah. Most folks are going with that. I have actually altered a few builds, and one of those is a darn, I'm trying to think what it's called, a Badar, and I put that poison armor on there when you ram them with it. And I tell you what, that thing is so maneuverable. You can get in and you can actually do more damage just ramming with the flood damage, and of course adding onto it that gas damage as well. But the Groot is also another great one. I think that's one of the big ones everyone seems to be using right now, is that Garuda build in PvP. But I don't think Lepest is actually in the game at the moment, other than some of the folks that are just coming into the game. They have a Lepest mission that actually takes place in the northern map, but like I say, it actually takes a contract to bring him up. He usually spawns right here, where my little cursor is there, up here in this section here. But you got to have a contract to bring him out, and he's not going to drop any of the wards or any of the furnitures. But we could also check. We'll check our warehouse real quick, see if I got that for you, man. Whoop. Okay, so there, button here. Let's go to furnitures and Plague Bringer's Ward. I wish they wouldn't put the announcements in the center of the screen. Let's see. Yep. What happened there? The potent schematic. Nope, that's not it. You know, I'm betting we don't have it because I'm pretty sure that's a major or a minor. We'll keep looking though. Nope, don't see no spare Plague Bringer's Ward, man. Sorry about that. But you when it's going to be coming back into the game. That might help a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Great Shadow. It is going to be on June 24th. It's going to bring the Pirate Lord bosses back in. So that's when you're going to be able to find the Pest, Hubok, and of course I forget the other dude's name. The last batch dude we had last year. But make sure you tune in on that Hellfest as well, because I think we're going to be able to earn some more points and stuff on that. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But looks like some cool cosmetics as well. But Now, unfortunately, the pest, I think he was in seasons the week 1 and 2, and they've just rotated him out here within the last couple weeks. So, but he will be back here in just a few weeks on the 24th. So I hope that helps you out. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have any extra ones on that. Okay, let's see where we're at here. I want to check and see if, you know what, we may actually switch up some. Well, I don't guess there's really any need to switch up my armor. It seems to be doing fine. Man, I hate I missed that. I just didn't want to pull out of my contract there, but we could have actually had that up to level 3. Let's see, we're going to get another takeover opportunity here in about 5 minutes, so that won't be too bad. Let's see here. Looks like our next is going to be over here at Fort Delis. Hey, how's it going, Sirius? Yeah, make sure you guys click over on Sirius. He's got a lot of great builds. If you're really into PvP, he is the guy that leads Banished Souls, and he's leading up some PvP training for those of you who are just getting into it. He's going to teach you how to do ship builds and stuff as well. A lot of great content, a lot of cool stuff coming out. So I mostly focus on PvE stuff typically. I do some PvP builds, but you know it's not. But when it comes to like doing teams and stuff like that, that's going to be our Discord leader. Why so serious there? He has a lot of great content on it, and also make sure, like I say, we put that Discord tab up there so you can, or the invite up there so you can get joined in, and he'll get you sorted. We got the first training coming up on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, and a lot of great farming that happens on Fridays as well. So for those of you who are new to the game, we went through last week, well, last few weeks actually, last couple of weeks that we've hit these Lepest missions that a lot of the new guys are coming in. And now that's the Lepest that spawns up here with the contract. Again, he's not going to drop that furniture that Matt. Sorry, I can barely see your name. Matt Hobbits. Hobbit hole, nice, love it. But yeah, so it's not going to drop a lot of that type of furniture out there. But I do recommend that you check out that kind of stuff and see, you know, what all's in the calendar in the Discord. Looks like someone's running Oost in here. All right, I'm going to run over here to the list. I want to get that farmed out. Get this contract out the way and just keep building up my Helm. I try to pull off, like one day I might work on some PvP aspects, and then the next day I really like to try and, oh no, this guy might sink me. That was a tough little boat right there. Yep, anytime, man. And like I said, I hadn't actually looked over in the trade stuff of Discord in the last couple of days. I've been kind of busy learning this OBS stuff for the streaming, man. It's like I said, it's outside of my typical stuff. You know, I'm usually a one button click type of guy. So Twitch is easy, just like click go live. This year I had to make sure I set up into YouTube, and I'm working on getting where I can actually bring in other streamers as well, and then be able to post like their picture, or if they're wanting to do a live stream with them in front of a camera, you know, that's going to be up to them how they want to do it. I don't typically show my face a whole lot. Now, I do have videos where I've showed my face. If you look, I mean, I've done far more than just gaming on this channel in the past. If you look, there's all sorts of stuff. We got gardening and all kind of things. You know, it's just been a slow process, but my plan was to have a all-inclusive type, you know, if you were looking for it and it has something to do that's something pretty cool, you'll be able to find it on my channel typically. It's just mostly what I do in life, you know, gaming, and not so much the homestead stuff much anymore, but hopefully we can get back into that one day. But yeah, so we've also got quite a few streamers that are coming into our Discord as well. Every month, keep an eye out on our announcements here, and also check in the channel. There's going to be a description. It's going to have a link to get to my webpage I'm setting up. And right now it's a free webpage link, so it's kind of weird looking with a SimDiff account. But eventually I will hopefully get that as to just a regular.com. But putting out reviews, and it's going to have featured gamers. It's going to have release information about new games that are coming out and stuff. So I have actually recently, let's see, we posted up for May and been working today on some of the content for the June selection that's come in, and getting very excited about that. So I'm hoping it's going to really help a lot of the streamers that are out, you know, coming into our community, have been in our community. And it's been, to me, it's been a lot of fun. You don't see a lot of folks helping other streamers out nowadays. Everyone kind of wants the views for themselves, but you know, you can't really encompass every type of game. And there's certain games I really enjoy playing, then there's certain types of games other streamers like. So try to keep it open up for, you can find something for everybody. You know what I mean? It's kind of what the plan is. And at least for this channel, within the Discord group, like I said, there's a lot of games. It's not just Skull and Bones. We've got some Hell Let Loose, guys, for those of you who love that first-person shooter stuff. I used to love that when I was younger, but I've just gotten where I just don't have the reflexes for it. Okay, let's see if we got anything that we can actually run here. I think all these are 4s that's popping up. Darn. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Double check. That's a 4. That's a 4. Man, if it had been one of those, it would have been perfect. And it's a 4. So, see, I think another one that they've got, that Battlefront 2, I think is what it's called. It's a Star Trek game from 2013, I think. But it's been getting a lot of traction here lately. It seems like it's kind of picking back up, especially on PC, PlayStation, stuff like that. But so those are pretty cool. There's, you know, sections in there for that. And Roadcraft, I've been kind of having a lot of fun with that. We've got some gamers getting into that, which has been pretty cool as well. I like I said, there's just a lot of stuff to go over with it. I know I'm looking forward to Dune. Unfortunately, we got to wait for those of us on console. We're going to have to wait. Now, the rumor is they are saying it could potentially come out around the second half of this year, which is that around the time it's releasing. So my guess is the soonest we would see that would actually become fall. I don't know. What else I have to wait and see. But they're saying 2006, into 2006 at the latest for us console guys. But if you're on PC, obviously June 10th, that's going to be your day to shine. But June 5th, if you have done the early advertisement or the early release, pre-release, whatever you call it, you're going to be able to play that on June 5th. So definitely look forward to that. We've got a couple guys that's going to be playing that. One of them for sure is going to be streaming on his PC. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the content on that, because to me, that game looks pretty awesome. Now, I love the original Dune series, or the original Dune. I can't say that I was a huge fan, per se, of the new one. Now, some aspects I liked of it. Some aspects were kind of, and now the worms and things like that, they did a really good job of that. Wasn't real crazy about all the cast. I mean, you know, some of them was okay, but Dune didn't really have a strong cast to begin with. I mean, honestly, if we're being perfectly honest, but that was just some of the casting. It just seemed a little kind of flaky to me. More like they were casting the people that were popular, I guess, more popular within culture rather than the actual acting abilities. But it wasn't enough to truly destroy it. But yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see how the game turns out. But it looked like it was going to be pretty cool. Yeah, thank you for typing that in there, Sirius. Hell Divers and Hell Let Loose. And it sounds like they've almost got a squad built. Hell Let Loose is something I tried in the past. It looked really cool. But like I say, my reflex is so horrible. I would just be the problem on the team constantly dying. So I don't really get into a whole lot of PvP stuff like that much anymore. That's real fast paced, mostly because I can't compete with it, and it just frustrates me anymore. I've just gotten old and slow, I guess, to put it nicely. But that's a young man's game. Well, I say a young man's game. That's a game for people whose reflexes aren't jacked up. So, yeah, we're getting there, man. If they would get their online fix for Roadcraft, what screwed us up is we can connect with the guys that are on like Xbox with Xbox, PlayStation, but they screwed something up in the pros connection where we can't get our codes to get to the guys that are like cross-platform now. So I don't know if they're planning to make an in-game list or what. I haven't checked it yet today. I did do some streaming on it, but man, I tell you what, that game is it's such big maps as you go. When you first start off, you think, well, you need multiplayer for this, but there's so many missions in this game that you really need crews. So otherwise, you end up in a situation where you're constantly going back and forth into really large sections of the map, having to backtrack a lot into other areas. It'd be nice to have those extra trucks, especially when you have to start hauling sand for your dump trucks from one section of map to the other. The more trucks you can bring in, obviously, the better it's going to be. But I have got 3 dump trucks now, so I could fill 2 of them up with sand, load them up on my heavy trailer, drive it over, and then drive another dump truck, and at least have 3 loads of sand. But then you got to drive it all back. Or you can, what I do is just run it off a cliff so it destroys the equipment, and then just respawn it at the garage for free. So that's kind of a cheater way of doing it, but it works. Yeah, so I'd seen that with the Discord wanting to talk about a Dune team up, and had told them definitely check with you on that, because that's one of the things that obviously is going to take some finesse to see how that's going to work. We've tried to do some of those matchups in the past and stuff, but I think it could be cool. But the thing I see hurting, at least for my aspects, I can't compete in it until it comes out for a console. I've got a new PC, but it's more for streaming. Just streaming. It's not really for that type of gaming. And looking at the stuff it's going to take to run that, man, I didn't buy anything for that type of game. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait on that. But it would be cool if we got some PC guys going over on that. I know we got quite a few PC guys. So, but I have to wait and see what they do. Okay, I'm talking and not paying attention. I got to destroy this wall. So that's going to be cool. So yeah, and that's something else, guys. If y'all were looking at, we do have the clan systems and stuff rolling out here in the next season of this game here on Skull and Bones. So if y'all were looking at team ups, maybe you've got a small group and you're afraid you're not going to be able to compete. Understand, Bandit Souls is a very large Discord. I mean, we fill entire servers on our night. So if this is something that you're wanting to look at a team up, definitely join up in that link, and make sure that you message Why So Serious. He is the Discord lead, and if you're looking at wanting to become some kind of an ally, I don't really know what the proper terms are with that, but I would definitely get with him on that, because we always like to play with other folks, and either way we're going to play with you. We're either going to come sink you or we're going to work with you. So it's kind of up to you on how our interactions are going to go across the sea, I imagine, especially once this new faction system comes in. I can't wait for Dune. It just looks so awesome. So like I said, I'm going to, hopefully, I've got a channel I'm going to be watching some stuff on and checking it out. I'm hoping it's going to be pretty cool. He's one of our streamers in the game, the Bad Dargan. It's pretty cool. I like his Twitch channel. He's been working on it for a while. He's, I don't know, about 120 subs, something like 127 subs, I believe he's got now, something like that. So he's growing. He is growing. But he's got some a lot of great first person shooter type games he plays, but this was the one that really kind of got my. He was the guy who was telling me about it. I didn't actually know they were coming out with a MMORPG for Dune, and it's supposed to be massive. I mean, what they're saying, the end game on this thing is going to be huge. The actual desert size. Seen some of the trailers with the sandworms, and then the equipment used to dragonfly. Flying helicopter looking thing. I don't know what you call it. Looks like a dragonfly is what it looked to me like. So you get to use that and a lot of cool stuff. But there is something for everybody over at the Banished Soul Discord for sure. And try to have something for everybody in our gaming streams here too. Been trying to expand into that. Now, I've played some older games on here, but most of those games, there's a million videos out on already, so I try to keep the content where it's viable. I want to make sure it's something that's people are needing information on, but I will post stuff up that I enjoy playing on occasions, like Star Trek and stuff. But that game's been out for probably 15 or 16 years, and it's just not really gaining any new players here lately. In fact, it seemed like it's been losing a lot. So I had been part of a Klingon defense force over there for years and years and years, and we went from one of the top-rated corps or fleets over there to maybe 4 or 5 actives, and that's not even at a time. It's just throughout a week you might see 4 or 5 guys who's actually online. So it's just a real slow rollout on content on that game. So that can usually kill a game pretty quick if they don't get that content going on. So let's go ahead and grab our 8s here. Then I think we got to do. I think it was Grand Fort, I believe. Yeah, Grand Fort. I need to remember to put water bottles in my freaking inventory, because it's gotten where it just feels like you're just barely moving. I love that Bombard 5 on the back. I think I'm using Bombard 5s. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even sure, man. I guess we could post up in Discord and see how many guys, but unless we got a lot of folks wanting to play Dune, I don't know how many people would actually team up and into a Dune thing. I mean, assuming we even got some guys there, I guess we'll have to wait and see when the game actually releases how many Discord guys are actually jumping into it and all is kind of what I would imagine. But yeah, when it comes out to console, assuming it's a hard hitting game and isn't all like advertisement and no follow through, from what it's looking like, it's gonna be pretty cool. But when it comes to console, I'll probably jump in it. But the last MMO I really got excited about was New World Eternum, and man, that was like a bigger flash in the pan than Helldivers in as far as aspect of the content that they was bringing in. At least Helldivers is bringing in fresh content to it. This thing here, man, it was just kind of like New World Eternum. It started off pretty heavy, and it got excited, and it's like just like that we was completed with the map. So I don't know. It's we'll have to wait and see what they end up doing with it, but. Yeah, there's actually probably a couple more guys coming to talk to you about some team ups and stuff. Had a few streamers talk about doing some things. Sounds like they've got some smaller discords and stuff, and I've told them that they need to definitely make sure they talk to why it's so serious about it, because I'm just a streamer recruiter, man. I don't handle any of that kind of stuff. I help out where I'm needed, but there's a lot of stress that comes with that kind of stuff. Obviously, as Sirius knows, but it's someone's plundering Megafort. Oh wait, I'm in tier 1. Yeah, I could pick up some 8s there maybe real quick, but I want to jump over here and do a quick boost, and then I'll jump over to the list. Yeah, so we had a couple of big games that thought was really going to take off in the past, and I don't know. Like I say, when it's one thing when you see the trailers versus the actual release, but I'm pretty sure that GTA 6 is going to be like a huge hit, and I'm looking forward to seeing what how the Discord grows in with that, because I mean, I imagine we're going to have servers upon servers of people just on big massive raids for the servers, and I can't wait to see that. But we all got to wait till 2026. Well, no, I'd scratch that. 2027 for PC, guys. So that's the one time I'm happy that I'm on console and not a PC, because we do get GTA 6 first. So it's always that. And it sounds to me like when it releases, we don't have to actually wait for the online. It's going to be a whole big package of a release now. So that to me is going to be pretty great. I know when they were looking at releasing in 2025 here, they had discussed like it would be next year before we see the online. But the release I was reading on Gaming Bible yesterday, I do recommend that you go over there if y'all, if you're a gamer and you want to keep up with the top news. I try to get it to you, but Gaming Bible does a great job. They follow just about any game that's going to come out. I follow certain types of games, but they said that they're looking at a complete release of everything, the online and all, on May 2026. So definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be right around my birthday. Not exactly on my birthday, but pretty close to it. So happy birthday to me for next year. Now, it costs 300 pieces of 8 to boost this location every 15 minutes, but I do recommend doing it because you can actually average an extra ascension part about every hour and 10 minutes with that. Now, that may seem like a lot of work to do, but if you're just out messing around anyway, gathering stuff, it's worth hammering that out. And with about 4 or 5 boosts a day, which is about an hour and a half, you can average about 12 upgrade parts coming out of your what's the name of this area? Tanina Town. I can't even pronounce this stuff, guys. All right. Yeah, so in PvP, I love the it's not the Tidebreakers, it's the other one, the Team Deathmatch. Absolutely love that. In fact, I love using my little River Rat Sloop build on that thing with the poison armor on it. Absolutely love it. It's been having a lot of fun with that. But when you come in and you're trying to do the capture points, you better know what you're doing, because they will have that. They're going to have a healer that is set up with his anchor, and he's going to be popping his heals, and you're going to have 2 Garudas. They're going to be anchored in, and they're going to smoke you on the way in. That is the most common setup that you're going to run into that thing, man. And it's just been, it can be a brutal match until you can get rid of that daggum healer, man. But really, you're probably better off aiming at the ships than you are the healer, because it takes a while to take that daggum bark out. I'm not even going to lie. All right, let's go ahead and boost this one here real quick, and then we'll run the list. But I'm looking forward to Saturday hopping in and learning some of the tactics that Sirius has come up for some PvP and some more builds actually on that thing, because he's got some pretty awesome builds. When it comes to brigantines, man, I'm going to have to start. I've been kind of working on the latest brigantine build he posted up. It seems like it's going to be a pretty good one to use in PvP. For those who are unfamiliar with the brigantine, that is one of the, you picked it up around the same time you get the snow. It's the fastest ship in the game. I know they say the brig is actually a little bit faster. I don't like the brig at all. That ship's not even in my repertoire of stuff to use. I built one, upgraded it to a 13, and it's been retired to picking up 8s. It's like the biggest pile of garb, in my opinion, the brig is. Something unlocked in Helm? Yeah, I'll bring that up real quick here. So, in order to be able to build ascension parts, You have to go to your upgrades. So DMC, it's going to be the capital for every aspect in here. So DMC, you're going to have to get the very end here, and this is going to be Ascension modules. And then I believe it's this other one here. See people? Yeah. So it's going to be this one here in the center. This does upgrade parts. And then this one here, which is the Clan Farah, you can do upgrade parts there, or you can do Ascension modules. So it's going to be up to you which one or the other. You average about 12 upgrade parts a day from it. So with a couple of these, you could be kicking out 24 upgrade parts just funded up and not even having to just 24 extra a day. And, you know, anyone who's been rolling, you definitely know you need those. Then the Ascension parts, you average about 3, 2 to 4, depending if you boost or not. 3 on average, but between 2 and 4 you can get a day off of that, really boosting it. You could probably get more if you boost it a lot. Then of course you've got the Campaigning Royale, and it is going to give you Ascension modules at the capital. Now you're looking at a lot of pieces of 8. I mean, you're looking at, let's see what it gets to. So these here ain't too bad. Upgrade production, so that's going to be some upgrade parts, so we'll be able to get that. That'll probably be the next one I do. But this here is going to cost 2,500. 2,500 is 5,000 plus another 7, and then another 20,000 for that. The big ones are going to be this right here is going to cost you 25,000. Then you're looking at 12,500, and then 35,000 there. So they're pretty heavy on the Ascension parts. But coming into these, they're not too bad. You're looking at about 20,000 as the final upgrade for that. And then coming into this, but like I said, it's a slow build, very slow build. So I did get this part here pretty much done. I got it to first upgrade. I didn't see coming up the efficient sipping. It reduces transport time of your pieces of 8, but I don't care if it takes 12 minutes to get your stuff in. It is what it is. And the same thing, manufacturing fortification. I've not noticed where the manufacturers do anything as far as defense when you're running a defense anyway. So I just go in and blow the ships up. So again, up to you if you want to run that. But it's supposed to make it so that the factories are actually a little more self-resilient running in your defenses and stuff like that. Make the stuff actually fire a little better. So it looks like you're going to get 2 out of the Rempa as well. So you can either do the Ascension or the upgrade parts. So going to be totally up to what people want to do. But as you get them done, I mean, you're looking at potentially, see, we got, 6 different factions here. So if you did 2 of those as upgrades, you could be looking at 24 upgrade parts. And then the other 4, you could be looking at potentially, 8 to, well, we'll call it 12 to 16 parts, but probably more like 8 to 10 parts a day, just as a static build, keeping it upgraded there. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked it, because I was hoping to go over it, but I'll be honest, sometimes I get on here and get to running my mouth on videos and kind of miss a few things every now and then. Alright, let's see. It's already a 5. We got it for your nope. And it's already a 4, so I guess we're going to be coming over here. And we'll pick up some 8s on the way in. Let me look at something here. I think that's only a 3 just above me here, if someone hasn't already grabbed it. It's a 3. Darn, it's already full. Oh well. Those almost always are full. Those are solo takeovers. That means no one can join you. Now, if that had been a PvP takeover, I'd have joined right in it, because, like I said, I want to get those up to 4s. My plan is to get them all to 5s, but that's not the major goal. The major goal right now is to finish getting my upgrade parts and Ascension parts. But, man, you're looking at, I don't even want to guess, probably another 300,000 pieces of 8 easily from where I'm at now. It starts to add up after a while. Okay, so I'm going to take this crap out. I don't think that guy really wants to shoot at me, but he did. It's the last thing he done too. Let's see if we can aggro enough where we don't have to hit the plunder button. Yeah, there we go. I think that was actually something that they worked on in the maintenance, because we was having some issues with that here. Was it last week and the week before, where we'd come up, we'd like destroy every wall on Houston and it still wouldn't aggro the plunder. It was weird. All right. Yes, this is, compared to Tier 2, this is nothing. What makes this so hard in Tier 2, or at least used to, the last time I ran it in Tier 2, I seen one Plague Prince. That was it. Just one. Hey, Sirius joined up. I didn't even see him join in there. Yeah, so I had one Plague Prince last time I ran this in Tier 2, and it just like shocked the crap out of me. I was like, really? Are you kidding me, man? One? Because I was hoping to open up some of those Tier 3 plague, what's it called? I didn't forget now. Anyway, it's a little plague long gun. I was going to open some of those up and start dishing some of them out to some of the guys that was looking for them. But yeah, I dropped one level 2. But from what it sounded like in the upgrade, it doesn't matter if it's level 1 or level 2, because it's going to rank it all the way up. But where the difference happens, and that's why I just still recommend that you ascend weapons, is you're going to end up in a situation where you will be able to amplify the effects you add on to it. Now, originally I was trying to amplify like one extra effect, but honestly I think the best route to go with some of this, and I'm going to have to do some experiments, is to add 3 different types of damage, because it sounds like it's going to max out the amplification of that. I'm going to kick that heal over there. The reason I use that little grace over there is I've got that set up where if it heals people in your group, it's also healing yourself. So that's a great one to have. That way you're benefiting everybody. I think that's his ramming ship, the brigantine he's using there. I have to look and check again. Yep. See? There he went. Shadow Flame. Not sure who he is. Huh. Hey, he knocked the wall out, so we don't have to. Sweet. Then I'll grab all the 8s in the territory, bring it up. One of the things I've noticed is typically I end up leaving 200 or 300 pieces of 8 in a fort whenever I pick up the 610. And you can use smaller ships, I guess, to grab the rest, but it's up to you how you want to do it. But I've not made a full run of 8s but once this year, I think. And even it wasn't a full run. I think it was like 6 territories over here in Africa and 3/4 of the Red Isle. That's been a while back. And that was just for old time's sake. And after doing that, I was kind of like, I'm done with it. And just started sending ships out again. But the best thing they added in this game, in my opinion, is the auto fund for the territory, to fund all, where you fund everything in that captured area, because having to pick each and every individual slot, that was so sucky. Is that a word? It is now. Sinky, sinky. That looked like poison going out. Here comes our Helm ship. They don't always drop materials. I like that emblem. I don't recognize it. Must be something new. Must be some new cells. It's like an eagle or something. No? I'm not sure what that is. Griffin, maybe? Oh, I missed the crap out of that guy. Grab our eights. We're going to grab from the other fort on the way up. There's a couple Helm roads. Fleet of 3. Now, you wouldn't think that 19 and 20 sugar cane and stuff like that's going to add up, but it really does after a while. It starts to add up pretty quick, especially after hours of them chasing you around and just keep blowing them up. Now, one of the cool things is you can run Mega Fort Houston in this tier 1 and it's going to give you pieces of 8, but like I said, you're better off running in tier 2 because it's going to bring the plague prints, or not the plague prints, the I don't know what you call them, the little dragon fleets or whatever. It's going to bring those in. They're trailing the pink smoke. You get pieces of 8 and ascended weapons there. That way you can take and salvage that stuff and get you some more parts to do your upgrades and ascensions and all that, rolls and all that good stuff. But I'm not really searching to increase anything like that right now, so I'm just kind of more or less building up my helm at this point. Looks like we've got a defense Spectre defense at that. So what I think I'm going to do here is I like to use my sandbuck on the Spectral. It just does more damage quicker. Make sure I got my rockets set up. Yep. And bring some rockets over. And we gotta go to St. Anne anyway. The best way to always have munitions is to never dig into your stores. Just buy them again at the store or make some as you do the collections. I don't really hit the shipwrecks anymore, mainly because I don't really need to hit the shipwrecks anymore. I used to do that because it saved on silver, getting your munitions and stuff. But anymore, it's just quicker to come up to the hawker and buy some. Now I wonder if they call it a hawker because she spits all the time. Probably not. It gives 2,000 rockets. That's more than we needed there. Alright, let's see. Where's that Spectre defense at? Dang, did I miss it? No, there it is. Okay. Well, when we do that, we'll run that and we'll go ahead and grab our 8s right there and bring them in. Now, the best way to do your Spectre defense, at least the only way I know, is as soon as you take out the man Godin is when it ends. It's not necessarily surviving it like it is in the other. You got to actually take out this man Godin. So, and he's got weak points you got to smack out. When you hear her scream, that's when you know you got her in a good spot. Just like that. Now you don't actually get any more for running this one than you do a typical defense that I'm aware of. But when it starts sending the smaller ships in, what you want to do is try and get those up near this because you take those out a lot quicker and it causes a lot of the blaze effects. And you can just do some massive, massive damage real quick on them. I got that weak spot. It's going to give us that nice barrel on the back again. On that reload. See, you ain't the only one's got reinforcement coming in, are you? And once Man Godin's done, you're finished with your Spectre defense. Now, looks like we got... Not sure what that was. Might actually be another player. That's a Helm ship. Alright, let's grab our 8s. So vocally advertising back in the day was called hawking, and general sales mercantile or hawkers. Oh, okay. Well, they kind of got a new name here recently back, well, I guess it was last fall. They had some girl talk about hawk 2 on that thing, and the next thing you know, they had talk 2 and all kinds of weird stuff. I don't know whatever happened with that. I think it kind of was one of those fads that came and went pretty quick. Stuck around a little longer than it should have, I imagine. But then they had the girl from Louisiana who tried to jump onto it and added to it where she like farted on a cam, and I don't think it had the effect that she was hoping for. I got a kick out of it, but I don't think anybody else did. It definitely didn't make you want to go, wow, I want to bring that one home to meet the parents. I remember back in season 1, man, if you had any kind of an aggro on it, you couldn't actually pick up your 8s, and you'd be like battling around forever before it would finally let you grab your pieces of 8. And then you couldn't even like fast travel either. That was another big thing. You would, you had 8s on your ship. You were coming back to St. Anne. There was no docking and then fast traveling from there, or none of that. So they've really progressed the game in a lot of areas. Get them fine-tuned in there. Let's see. Now, picking up 8s can, not always, but can actually help bring in rogue helms. Little helm rogues. At least it used to. I think most of the time it's just going to be running and popping the liaisons up top. Probably have to pop those again, but it's just about time for some contracts to spawn again. You know, at some point I've put on some Plague Bringer garb. I don't know when that happened. So what happens if you're playing real late at night and half asleep? Nah, I'm pretty sure I was trying to put that stuff on my Bidar and my sloop. Must have inadvertently put it on this thing. It's okay though, it looks cool. Now, as far do I need to pick up 8? Not really. I mean, I could wait and send some ships out to pick these up, but I figure I'm on the air in the water. May as well grab them and bring some mates in. I want to try and get some more of my helm taken care of. Ooh, is this a... That is a 3. I typically... Ooh, fast travel over there. Now, I typically will use my schooner on this. But, being we're in sand, but we'll just wait and see what it does. I'll get this up to a 4 or a 5 if I can. Well, 4 for sure. I don't think I'm gonna spend no money to make it a 5, but looks like there might be one tower there. Yeah, for sure one tower. Two towers. Like they're actually sinking, but I'm not 100% certain they're. I ain't sinking fast enough if they are. No, it took me forever to wait on this thing to open up. I ended up having to buy a Helm lease on it. And after I got all the territories, it seems like every third gilded chest I open up gives me a Helm lease now. And I don't need them anymore. I don't think I'll need them ever again. I don't know. My understanding is we don't have to rebuild the Helm after this season. I'm not going to be happy if we have to because it's been a lot of work, a lot of 8s went into this stuff. But a lot more than the seasons before, that's for sure. Don't know how to search for players. You know, I'm not sure how to do it in game. I usually just go to Ubisoft. If you're on an Xbox, I don't know if you're on a console or not, but if you're on a PC or PlayStation, you have to do it through the Ubisoft. Log into your account on Ubisoft, and then go to your in-game friends and add Cryptic Gaming on there. They used to have a app, but something happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but they shut the app down it was either the end of April, first part of May. So we don't have the app anymore. That thing was pretty handy too. I can look for you as soon as I get done with this on the app, man. Get you added in there. Now, while I ain't going to run from the Helm Roads, I'm also not going to go chase them down because they're going to have to come to me. He didn't have any resources on him? What a chip. Pick up a lot of first aid kits this way. Or repair kits. I guess it's not a first aid kit, technically. But that and restorative kits. Definitely want those. Yo, PS5, I'll find you on here just a second, man. If you want to post up your Ubisoft name, I'll look for you on Ubisoft as soon as this match is over here. That'll make it easier for you whenever you come into the events too. Be able to join into the events. Until they get a really good friend finder on this thing, man. I'm not sure what's been going on with that. It looks like they would really work on that multiplayer aspect, getting your friends together in a server. Especially with the 6 versus 6 PvP, I was really shocked that we didn't see that. I figured that we would have that option, but you still got 3 versus 3, which is good. Okay, let's see. We got that captured, so we're gonna look for. Yeah, I guess the closest fast travel is gonna be Ragnarok Cove. Let's see what we got here. Not enough to be picking it up. That gun sharpshooter. That was usually what I aim for first. Missed him. There was 2 of them there, maybe. Easy money. I tell you what, probably my least favorite Pirate King in here that we had to fight, I'm going to have to say Lepest is probably at the top of that list. The Hubok twins apart weren't too bad. The mission where you have to fight them together, that kind of sucked in the whirlpool. But it wasn't as bad as the Lepest, man. That thing, just the AoE cloud it had and all that. Let me get you added on here. Mad Hobbit. Sweet. Yeah, I wish they would have kept the app. I don't know why they got rid of that. Oh, hey. You sent the advert. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it would have sent me that there was an invitation sent in. That should be good, man. You should be in there. That's weird. Usually it would pop up that I had a request, but so. It's not showing you on here. Looks like Dirty Harry's online too. Oh, you sent a request on PS5. I'm playing on Xbox. Oh, Sirius sent you one. Cool. Yeah, get Sirius added on there too. He's a PS5 guy, so you can join in on that, then I can get you added in game too. I gotta hit the head real quick. I did have my mic muted. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I've been talking away over here. I forgot to turn that mute off. I remember when these were the hardest ship that you'd go against on the water right here, man. These daggone privateers. I mean, they never were like that hard, but they were pretty difficult. But I would go out of my way to hunt them things down because they had the best silver on it. And you can find other materials and stuff on it too. But you know, so these mushrooms and stuff, man, I was thinking we were going to be using that stuff in PvP, but as far as I could see, we don't get to eat anything. You know, I'd made a bunch of stuff up, a lot of different types of food sources and things like that, thinking, okay, we're going to be able to bring that in. It's going to increase the brace and all that kind of stuff. And then when they released the patch notes, none of that was coming with us. So, which is kind of cool. We don't have to waste our cannonballs and stuff in it. Pretty sure, yeah, that's the direction I want to go there. So it looks like somebody else got some Helm liaisons coming in. Guess he's buying from them. Do it however you want, I reckon. Sink them and take it for free. That's where your money's at. To me, the overall game looks so much more polished than it did in year one, with the water and the sky. I don't know. I definitely like the HUD layouts a little bit better. Alright, cargo. Open those chests and see what we got here. People like to see that kind of stuff. Treasure chest. We got frankincense. Yeah, uncut sapphire. Torsion spring and a worm drive. Yeah. Liberty cap. Yeah, so like a bitter ball, and that was a big one. Then you got the Variety Manaka making some of those. There was another one. There it is. The Nizi Niyama. I was really looking forward to that, increasing your brace strength and brace consumption and increasing your stamina regen. I thought, yeah, I'll get this stuff that's going to be great for PvP. Yeah, I didn't get to use none of it. Then, of course, you got your Talarosaurus steaks to increase your stamina and stuff by 60%. Those were pretty cool, growed Lastari meat and all that kind of stuff. But, you still use them in game. I imagine they're going to come in handy with the PvP stuff in game. Now I'm not really sure what's going to happen with the large ships, because unless they release this northern section of the map, we're gonna be touring around in this stuff, which will be kind of nice come like La Peste and all. If they bring them guys back in, I don't know what we're going to see as far as the new bosses and stuff like that. I mean, my understanding is come Season 2, we're going to see some pretty big changes in the game. Lepest kind of does his own thing. The Hubach twins were with Campaign Royale, I believe. I don't think Lepest had any allegiance on his stuff, so we'll have to wait and see how that's going to be. What's going to happen. But if we're touring around out here, I mean, these dudes hunted and all that, they're not going to stand a chance against them large ships. I mean, unless they just nerf us really heavy. And let's hope that don't happen. Okay, what kind of stuff we got opened up here? 6 more minutes. Okay, I'm going to boost this again. And I'm going to go boost that other section. So I try to catch it every 15 minutes, but sometimes I get situated on other things. But main thing is when you're playing, just if you got some territories that you can boost to produce those parts, it always pays off to hit it. I mean, you're boosting 400%. Docker Holgi. I don't know who that is. Yeah, so you can sell the mushrooms. My understanding, the pricing is pretty much the same anywhere. It's either 85 or 95 silver. So I imagine that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of hanging on to them because it might have a use later. I don't know. So this one was 158, I think, to upgrade for 15 minutes. But we already built 4 parts, and we've been in here touring around about an hour, so it's definitely worth the boost. You can really get some upgrade parts instead of having to focus on just running Mega Forts and stuff like that. You can kind of be doing your Helm and still be pulling in a little bit, but it don't hurt to run Mega Fort too. But I got burnt out with running Mega Fort Houston. It didn't take long to get kind of tired with that. But I'm kind of like a squirrel, man. It takes a lot to catch my attention or keep me focused on something, more, I guess, more like a dog. But yeah, I think, well, let's go see if there's any difference in price over at St. Anne real quick. So we can look at this guy. There should be a Campaign Royale dude here. See if he buys. Let's see. So he offers 75 silver per. Let's see what they're offering over here, St. Anne.
Speak of your exploits, Skipper. Keep it up.
75? It might be 75. I was thinking it was 85. But that price may have come down. We'll check over with Skurlock too, because we know how he likes getting drunk. Or Remus, she likes to get high on that freaking loaded stuff. Oh, we got a supply and command mission. What's this? Still commodities. We're not worth buying in that thing there. 75. Yeah, so 75, I guess. So 62,000 silver is what it'd be worth there. Do want to see what she's got though, because I typically try to stock up on this crap. Buy it now when you don't need it, so when you do need it, you got plenty of it. A lot of this stuff is used to actually do like your Helm buyouts, so it's definitely worth having for that. I'm gonna check Skurlock real quick on that mushrooms. I think he was the one paying 85, but like I said, it's been a while since I looked. I don't even know if he's got some new missions or not. Oh, can you sell the mushroom for 8s? Oh, I don't know. I don't know where you'd get 8s for them. Let's see. He gives 75 silver. I guess if you're selling them for 8s, it would have to be Rima. We'll go check her. Be pretty sweet if she was. Looks like my guy's wearing a brown diaper. I like the actual belt because it's got the those discs that you use that can be used to help disarm swords, and you got the double pistols, and then of course a nice dagger in the back. But it looks like a big brown diaper. I mean, honestly.
At your disposal.
But it covers the hole in the back of my pants. So we're going to go there and then here, and no, 75 silver. I don't know. I'm not sure. I hadn't heard that you could sell them for 8s, but you could definitely sell them for silver. So I'm not sure where you would hear them. The ice trade route on a map. So we got a summer regatta coming again. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't even think I used the stuff I got last year, assuming it's even still in my inventory. I don't know. It got a lot of those drinks that they had on that summer regatta event. It seemed like it was mostly consumables as far as drinks and stuff, if I recall right. I don't even think I've still got that stuff. I think they took it after the event. I don't know. They hit my warehouse all the time. I got so much garbage in here. Yeah, I do not see. I forget what they were. It was some kind of a fancy little drink that was supposed to. Yes, there I've got like 3 Helm leases. I got those 2 of them today, one of them yesterday, I think. And just now I've been started getting back into this stuff. I mostly just move the chests over here. That way, in case they do something, crazy next year, I've still got my Gilded Raider cache is sitting over here. I got 11, I think, saved up so far. We'll go ahead and open these silvers and clear a spot in our inventory. Then these smuggler supplies, I don't know if I should open these or hold off on them. I don't know. So like the toolings, coffee and stuff, I'm not sure where all that stuff goes to. I'll be honest. You would think that the drinks would be right in here. I'm going to move some of these over. No, I may have deleted them. Like I said, I think they actually got nerfed out of my stuff at some point. Yeah, I'm not sure if we can sell them for 8s. I'm not sure where that would be at. I would definitely like to know. I mean, shoot, we got. I mean, heck, even if they gave you a half of an 8 per piece, I mean that's 400 I could get just from selling mushrooms. We check over at Rima's sister here later. We'll run over here and get me. If it'll give me my fast travel. There we go. Come over here and boost this real quick. Yeah, I remember the summer regatta. That was the ice, I believe. Picking up the ice cubes and you take trade in for different things. They work pretty nice for the different effects that you could get. And like I said, I don't know how much of that stuff I've at some point may have removed out of my inventory. Back when we only had, I think it was like 300 was the max we could hold in our warehouse. It was insane. But even now, I think it was like 500 they've given us. It's still, at times, it feels like we're like right at push because they just keep adding new material that you might need. You almost hate to remove anything and you hate to refine everything because sometimes it doesn't require the refined version. Yeah, destroyed the drinks. Yeah. So they're going to have cosmetics for the regatta. Yeah, I don't know. I think the cosmetics and stuff were cool and all, but the drop rate sucked so bad on some of that stuff last year there toward the end. It was getting harder and harder and harder. I mean, we would come in and we would farm everything the moment the servers come back in, and it seemed like you had the best drop rates for about 5 or 6 hours after a update, and then after that, everything just kind of like dropped off. And especially halfway into the season, the drop rates really dropped off. So I don't know. Every time I turned around, it seemed like they was changing those drop rates on us. I am looking forward to the Hellfest event. I'm not sure what all that's going to be, but it looks like it's got an emissive cell that's going to add a glowing, the actual icon or whatever that you use in your map in your cell. It's going to make it glow as well. So it looks like that'll be worth grinding out. That's that battle junk. Ooh, I like that cell. Kind of a blue color. That come off the shark. We'll go check Rima's sister up here. I need to go grab some contracts anyway. Yeah, so now that that's boosted, we're getting, let's see here, additional 400%, I think it was. So it's 0.25, a quarter of one per hour. So that's going to give you an ascension module per hour if you can keep that thing running. So the longer you're playing, just keeping it topped up stuff is really going to help. But obviously, your quickest route is going to be farming a lot of other stuff. It looks like we've got Mad Hobbit coming in. Is he running? Yeah, he's running out, so I'm not going to jump in on him. Now, was the Hellfest event, was that the one where you earned extra points and you went to the shrine at the top of St. Anne and got the heliports? I forget now. It seemed like it was. But all it's showing is cosmetics on it. I'm just hoping it'll bring it back so we can actually earn some points and go buy those heliports again, because I'd love to have some more of those. What am I doing? That's right. Humanora.
Always a pleasure to wait on you.
Nope. Not selling them for 8, so... Oh, I think Blackwood buys that kind of crap too. We'll check him. That'd be the last place I could think of. Here we go. What kind of plunders? We got preemie. Another preemie. Sweet. A deuster. Hey, another preemie? 3? Heck yeah. Oh, I think I forgot to grab those. We'll let those finish building up too. I'm looking forward to actually fighting the Kraken. I'm hoping that they bring out some more sea monsters. I've not heard anything, but you know, just because they're being tight-lipped, they're definitely being a little more tight-lipped about stuff this go around than they were year one. And I think I've got my opinion on that. I'm not going to voice it on here, but I do have an opinion on why. I think we all have opinions on why, but it's probably right. But I walked right by Blackwood, and I was wanting to see if he buys these mushrooms real quick. And if he does, what he pays for them.
What are you on about? I think I would remember meeting a pretty-eyed pirate like yourself before.
Yep, 75 silver. So, yeah, if they're selling for pieces of 8, I'm not sure where that would be at. I mean, even if they would give us a heliport blueprint, I would love for that, but that might be wishful thinking. Okay, Fort Preemie, there she is. I always forget where that place is at. And we'll swing across this way. Gives us a little more speed. Now, I remember back in the day when we ran forts, it would take a crew, and we'd be running Mons Megs and then sandbucks and stuff for the crowd control and just slamming these forts. Since they've added the ascension aspect to this game, man, these cannons just smack the walls down, which is great. I still remember some of the beta tests and stuff was ran on this, man. I think I'd grabbed a Hulk and was coming out down south of St. Anne, and I was getting just smacked down by those dadgum ships down there, the campaignies. It was one of the hardest battles down in there. Finally started getting better weapons and stuff. Just it was trial and error trying to find what worked best for you and all that kind of stuff. The fire bombarders, that really opened up a whole new world of hurting these enemies, man. Being able to run a fire bombard. Alright, let's start the plunder. run, baby, run. Don't get caught in that. Oh crap, almost ran right into him. Didn't even see him. I get so freaking tunnel visioned on this thing sometimes. That's one of the things with anybody who sells with me. They end up knowing I'm going to run right into you, and it's not intentional. I just ain't paying attention, man. The world's worst. Are those cells emissive at night? Do they glow out? I like that blue. That's like an electric blue looking color. It's pretty cool. I feel like I'm running old school stuff running the daggum man Godin cells. Like, come on, first chest. I feel like they're not really sending any ships in. That's crazy. I mean, there's ships around, but they're not really sending them in, per se. Withdraw, man. Man, I'm like missing that dude bigger than crap. Here we go. Sounds like long guns. Got another ship. It's on the back side of the fort. Oh, he's down now. Sharpshooter. Oop, big miss on that one. Hey, if you're gonna miss it big, right? Must be another sharpshooter. Oh, it's that one there. Back down the Helm ship. Man, I love it when you get the triple contract payout. It really cuts down on getting those Helm material times, and you can focus in on a lot of other objects or objectives. Now, it looks like we've got some down at Dooster. We could actually come down through here, grab these two, and then grab those, and then run Dooster. I think I'm going to do that. Go ahead and grab these 8s. That'll cause nice little ruckus with the Helm ships. Alright, we'll hit the lumberyard next. Then on down into Dooster. Yeah, I was playing that Roadcraft earlier today, and I don't know what I was thinking. I was doing some weird stuff in there, man. I took a mobile crane unit and was going off-road this thing. I was just using the transformer I was supposed to be delivering to an area to actually drag myself up these hills in the mountain. I was like, yeah, that kind of really adds to the game, you know, as far as like the gamer tag. I use Cryptic Game and wonder why the heck he's doing it that way. It's a mystery. I'm not sure if that dropped any good materials or not. Let's check it. Look like some tobacco. See here, we're gonna snatch it.
Captain, what can we toss?
And some juniper berries. Ooh, I'm overburdened. I'm gonna have to drop this crap off. I had no idea I had that much material. What am I carrying? Open this up. Open that up. Don't need that long gun. That'll help a little bit. Grab these 8s. Surely 8s aren't actually weighing my ship down. That would be insane if it is. There just isn't that much stuff there. Swing down here and dump my cargo. That was a triple contract, is what I forgot. It's probably pulling, 150 to 300 of each of those materials there. So you got 695 of the berry, 660 of the poppy, and 70 of that jade. So yeah, that would be a bit much. Okay, let's empty the cargo. Then it looks like we got quite a bit of stuff we can do here at Dooster. Grabbing some 8s and all that good stuff. Yeah, don't hurt to help. That's one of the things in PvP using the Garuda. There's like almost no turning whatsoever with that ship. So they just sit there and get a buddy to bump and say, hey, I need to go to the left and shove you around if you can. That's my story and I'm sticking to it anyway. Take them little sharpshooters out. Those little suckers will make a mess of you. Couldn't move because of Helm supply. Yeah. Big loads. Looks like we got some good Helm ships coming in though. There's some skirmishers there. I remember people actually used to complain about those little level 8 ships. I couldn't understand it. We just had some pretty weak builds. Out here. Oh, big hit, big hit. I'm pretty sure it was that little sharpshooter done it. It's a broadsider. Ow. Come on, man, turn. bad spot to hit right there. I don't know what it is, but it'll like almost suck you into the wall and you can't get off of it. There we go. Says your grader turns like a brick. Yeah. It's the speed up, but man, even when you're sitting at a almost park, it just doesn't pivot around much. But every ship is going to have its downfall or its perks. I guess you can't ask for a ship that has everything. You can hopefully these large ships are going to be able to build it where they can almost have everything. That would be cool, but I don't know. There's a streamer. It seemed like every good point of a ship, he's going to go and he's going to ask them to nerf it down because it's just too good for apparently. I don't know. Those types of guys drive me nuts in games when you finally get something that you've been asking for and hoping for, and then they come in and you're like, "Oh, this ship is too good." I like that sail. That is so cool looking. Was that a cosmetic you earned in game or one of the ones from the store? They're serious. Is that a griffin? It looks like a griffin. I don't know. Hey, Hobbit, you got that wall on that backside, man? You need help with it. That should be a weak spot. Just come up. Oh, you're in a sandbuck. There we go. I see a treasure chest up there. Can't remember. Yeah. I was looking at some stuff, and I don't even know where some of the cosmetics come from. I hit convoys and stuff a lot, and I think some of the stuff I got was Assassin's Creed convoy, but here recently I ended up with some pretty cool emissives. One of them I like pretty good. I can't remember what ship I put it on. sure what just hit me. Mortar.
I know nothing nicer than that, my friend.
Alright, we can grab these 8s while I'm out here. I forgot they had siege chanties in this thing. I'd only recently turned up some of the crew volume again here recently, and forgot there was so much interaction in it. But man, early on, you'd be fighting and they're like screaming about they're on this side or on that side. You're going, oh my goodness. I ended up just turning the volume down on it. Let's see, he's got those two, and he grabbed this one and that other one there. Come on. Man, hitting that port on this thing is such a pain. But it is not going to let me snag them 8s for some reason. And grab on the other side. Yeah, we just have to collect them with, or pick up ships in, I guess. We got that daggum glitch in the game. Every now and then you'll get it too. It'll come up and you won't be able to interact with your forts. I don't know why it does that. You would think after a year that would be eliminated. I can't wait for the Hunters Guild. I think that's season 4 where you're going to have the Hunters Guild. I think that's going to be part of where you go and you hunt down the monster or the master preys and things like that. You know, the real heavy stuff. You're going to have a hunter's dhow that you're going to be able to put on your large ship and go out and do, you know, big hunts, whales and stuff as well. I think the main creature for like the final top master hunter is going to be the Kraken, from what it sounds like. But they just got so much new stuff coming out in the game, and they're not releasing a whole lot of information. But what little bit of information they have released definitely sounds really nice. Some of the stuff sounds familiar from the real early technical tests from talking way back in the game. Now the game had changed a lot since then, but it sounds like they're bringing some of that coding in, so that's going to be great. And if that ends up actually happening, we're looking at a northern section being added and all kinds of stuff. So but as usual, we just kind of wait and see what happens. Taking these 8s off. I think it's time to pick some more Helm liaison contracts, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Unless y'all got some contracts y'all need to hit. Y'all have any contracts? Happened on the fort we just left. There's a glitch, man, that when you try to interact with the fort, I was trying to pick up my 8s, but it wouldn't actually let me interact with either one of those forts. So it happens sometimes. Sometimes just leaving the area and coming back can fix it. Sometimes you actually have to reload the game, so it's going to kind of just depend on it. I figure I'll go hit some Helm liaisons real quick, and maybe it'll clear the forts again. Sometimes you can take out the walls and stuff like that around the fort, and it'll actually aggro it, so you can get credit for, you know, going into a plunder as well. But it doesn't help you whenever you're trying to actually pick up 8s. Unfortunately, you actually have to be able to interact with a fort. Okay, let's see what we got here. Looks like I've got contracts 4. Well, it didn't activate. There we go. Roving missions. I think that's a 4. Yeah, it's a 4. See if there's anything I need there. That's a 4 already. No such lucky. It's a 4. Guess we'll smack. That's a 4 there too. We'll go smack some liaisons. I've actually kind of been working on an AI program thing that has a animated character that's not exactly, but similar to my character I've built on here. That while I'm talking, instead of showing my face, it actually interacts on the screen. It's still got a few glitchy things in it, and it's not got a whole lot of stuff on it. But it's a new program I'm working on, so I'm hoping to get that released in there too. That way I can kind of release something that looks pretty similar to my character in the game. So. I don't know how important it is for people to see your face in gaming channels, honestly. I think most people come for the content. Maybe come for the entertainment and the farm with you and stuff like that. But unless you're an attractive woman, I don't think they really care about seeing my face. And I'm definitely not an attractive woman. I'm not even an ugly one. It's horrible. I would probably make an ugly one. Beard and all. Well, we left one liaison. I don't know why there were so many there. Might be if some other guys picked up some contracts. All you really got to do is take out one ship to complete that stuff. But you know, all right, now we'll go to St. Anne and queue up some materials over there to my refinery, or not the refinery. What is it called? Distillery. Oh, I remember. It's my Divine Wind. I have a kind of an electric blue emissive cell on it. More of a kind of a metallic purple almost. It's pretty cool cell. Don't need no mortars. That looks good. Now you can run these manufactories and stuff, even if you don't need them. If you're at level 4s with stuff, unless you got friends that need them, but you can run those and you can earn 458s, I think, typically for each one. So it's not too bad. I was doing something here. Oh yeah, I was going to the refinery. Let's see, this is idle, not the way I like to have it sitting. Right, we got that one running. I think I need to go get Talot going again. So I mostly keep this stuff running for the aspect of the easy silver. Because all those gold products, the gold tainted stuff there, you can sell all that for heavy silver later if you need to. But I don't think I need to. I'm like 143 million, so not really hurting on it. Okay, so it looks like we've got a. Hey, that's only paying 450. Those used to pay 9. Wow, they've really hammered that stuff down. Guess I'll run that legendary high school and pick up some mates real quick. couldn't quite pick up my gear there because that gun wave kept covering me. There we go. So hey, he shot after he was already sunk. They got to work on that. They don't let me shoot a cannon off. There's no martyrdom perk on my ship. But until your stuff's underwater, you should be still able to shoot like in Warhammer. Or War Thunder, I think it's called. I'm not sure where this guy went. He went up the pass. That's where he's going. It looks like there's going to be some nice Helm activity. Dadgummit, we moved our water bottles, didn't we? Oh, I'm not trying to dock on the heist. I'm picking up the materials. Old canister, that's all he had. Jip. They're getting stingy. I think they're must be monitoring what we're doing, or people are reporting what we're doing, which is going around getting the wanted levels and hunting this stuff down to get those silver. It seems like they're working against you to get silver or something. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but this is the first time I've ever gone out and the actual Helm rogues aren't dropping, tobacco or juniper berries or something. This is kind of crazy. There may have been Helm ships chasing this guy, though, so on the legendary, so it's potentially what's going on here. Let's see, did we get anything good? No, more canisters. It's insane. Okay. I think old boy finally got that stuff delivered. There's a fort to list. We'll hit that so we can get over here. Don't take a cannonball to the chest. Yeah, that's a good piece of advice. Took a fart to the face one time. I imagine it about to take your breath the same way. I don't really need to plunder this, but hey, we're going to. .3 minutes for next takeover opportunity. We've earned some ace nut. Let's see what we can do. I think we need 20,000 gears, another 7,000. We pop up for some more upgrade parts. I just can't get over the pricing of some of the stuff on this thing, man. I mean, 35,000, 25,000. It's just insane. Needs ice cream. Reminds me of my favorite movie line from Half Baked. Tell you what, my allergies have been screaming the last couple of days. Need some rain. Right. Let's see what we got kicking into opportunities now. There it is. Let's see if this actually pays anything out. Because if they're not going to be paying these out, then I'm going to stop hunting Helm rogues. Waste of cannonballs. Let's see. Nope. Cannonballs. And... well. May have to take this daggum thing over to tier 2. They must have nerfed tier 1 where they don't pay that stuff out anymore. Or maybe there's a maximum amount you can farm out of them in an hour. I don't know. Not sure what's going on. Something seems to be going on. Something's changed in the game. Oh, there's some berries. Okay. I guess it's just not paying out in all of them now. They've reduced the drop rates of it. the restroom. All right, I am going to end the live stream here, but I'm going to be switched over to Discord chat for those who are in Discord and want to keep gaming and shoot the breeze in there. For everyone that's tuned in, I appreciate you for stopping in and chatting and gaming with me. Always having fun.